If you are a retiree, someone receiving Social Security disability, or an SSI beneficiary, January 2026 is not just the start of a new year. It is a month that brings important financial changes, adjustments, and reminders that can directly affect your monthly income and your financial security. Many people hear bits and pieces of information about Social Security increases, possible stimulus discussions, or changes in benefit rules, but the full picture is often confusing. Today, we are going to walk through everything step by step in a calm, clear, and practical way so you can understand exactly what January 2026 means for you and your benefits. As the new year begins, the Social Security Administration automatically applies several annual updates. These updates are not random and they are not political promises. They are based on formulas, laws, and long-standing rules that are designed to protect beneficiaries from rising living costs. One of the most important updates that takes effect in January is the annual cost of living adjustment, often called the COLA. This adjustment is meant to help benefits keep up with inflation, especially for essential expenses like food, housing, utilities, and medical care, which tend to rise faster for older adults. For retirees receiving Social Security retirement benefits, January 2026 payments reflect this adjustment in full. This means that the check or direct deposit you receive in January is higher than what you received in December 2025. The increase may feel modest to some, but over the course of a full year, it adds up and can help offset rising costs. It is important to remember that this adjustment happens automatically. You do not need to apply, sign forms, or contact Social Security to receive it. If you are eligible, it is already included in your January payment. For people receiving Social Security disability insurance, often called SSDI, the same adjustment applies. Disability benefits are tied to the same system as retirement benefits, which means SSDI recipients also see an increase starting in January 2026. This is especially important because many people on disability live on fixed incomes with very limited flexibility. Even small increases can help cover higher grocery bills, transportation costs, or medical copays that continue to rise each year. SSI recipients also see changes in January, but the way SSI works is slightly different. Supplemental Security Income is a needs-based program, which means benefit amounts depend not only on federal limits, but also on income, resources, and sometimes state supplements. The federal SSI payment level increases in January 2026, which raises the maximum possible monthly benefit. However, not everyone receives the maximum amount. Some people may see a smaller increase depending on their other income or living arrangements. Still, January is when the updated SSI amounts officially take effect, and for many recipients, this brings welcome relief. Another key issue many seniors and disability beneficiaries are concerned about is stimulus payments. While there is always a lot of discussion online and in the news about possible stimulus checks, it is important to separate confirmed information from rumors. As of January 2026, there is no automatic nationwide stimulus payment being issued simply because the calendar has turned to a new year. Any new stimulus would require congressional approval and formal implementation. That said, there are still other forms of financial support that continue in the background, including tax credits, energy assistance programs, and state-level relief that many people overlook. One area where January 2026 matters a great deal is Medicare premiums. For most Social Security beneficiaries, Medicare Part B premiums are deducted directly from their monthly benefit. When premiums change, this affects the net amount you actually receive. In January, updated Medicare premiums and deductions take effect. For many people, the Social Security increase helps absorb the premium adjustment, but it is still important to review your January payment carefully so you understand exactly how much is being deducted and why your net deposit may differ from what you expected. Healthcare costs remain one of the biggest financial pressures for older adults and people with disabilities. In addition to Medicare premiums, prescription drug costs and supplemental insurance premiums can also change at the beginning of the year. January is a critical time to pay attention to medical expenses, review coverage, and make sure you are enrolled in plans that best meet your needs. While this script does not provide enrollment instructions, it is important to be aware that changes in healthcare costs directly affect how far your Social Security or SSI income will go each month. Another important point for January 2026 is the annual earnings limits for those who are working while receiving benefits. Some retirees and disability recipients continue to work part-time, either by choice or necessity. Social Security has strict rules about how much you can earn before benefits are temporarily reduced if you are below full retirement age or receiving disability benefits. These earnings limits are adjusted each year, and the new limits apply starting in January. Understanding these thresholds is essential so you do not accidentally earn more than allowed and face unexpected reductions later in the year. For SSI recipients, January is also when resource limits and income evaluations are reviewed more closely. Because SSI is needs-based, changes in income, living arrangements, or financial assistance from family can affect benefit amounts. The start of a new year is often when Social Security reviews reported information and applies updated calculations. This makes it especially important for SSI recipients to ensure their information is accurate and up to date. Many people also wonder about retroactive payments or adjustments in January. In some cases, beneficiaries may receive back pay if there was a delay in processing an increase, a correction to benefit calculations, or the approval of a disability claim late in the previous year. While not everyone will receive retroactive payments, January is a common month for these adjustments to appear, especially if changes were finalized near the end of December. Finally, January 2026 serves as an important reminder to stay organized and informed. The beginning of the year is a good time to review your Social Security statements, check your payment history, and make sure your direct deposit information is correct. Small errors can cause delays or missed payments, and catching them early can save a great deal of stress later. In this first part, we have covered the foundation of what January 2026 brings for retirees, SSI recipients, and disability beneficiaries. We have talked about benefit increases, the reality around stimulus discussions, healthcare cost impacts, and why reviewing your payments carefully matters more than ever at the start of the year. We will go deeper into practical tips, common mistakes to avoid, how changes in income or living situations can affect benefits, and what seniors and disabled Americans can do to protect their financial stability throughout 2026 and beyond. As we continue into the details of January 2026, it is important to focus not only on what has changed, but also on how these changes affect real-life decisions throughout the year. Social Security, SSI, and disability benefits are often the main or only source of income for millions of Americans. Because of that, even small misunderstandings can lead to financial stress, missed opportunities, or unnecessary fear. This part of the update is about helping you stay steady, informed, and prepared as 2026 moves forward. One of the most common concerns beneficiaries have in January is whether their new benefit amount is correct. When your January payment arrives, it may look different from December's payment, and that can cause confusion. Some people see an increase that matches expectations, while others notice that the increase feels smaller than they thought it would be. In many cases, this difference is due to deductions such as Medicare premiums or other authorized withholdings. The important thing is to understand that the gross benefit amount may have increased, even if the net amount deposited into your account did not rise by the same amount. Knowing this can help reduce worry and prevent unnecessary calls or stress. For retirees who rely on Social Security as their primary income, budgeting at the start of the year becomes especially important. January is a good time to review monthly expenses and see how the new benefit amount fits into your household budget. Rising costs for groceries, utilities, and housing continue to challenge many seniors. While Social Security adjustments are designed to help, they may not cover every increase you experience. This makes it important to plan carefully and prioritize essential expenses while being mindful of discretionary spending. For people receiving SSDI, January 2026 also brings renewed attention to work rules and medical eligibility. If you are working part-time or considering returning to work, it is essential to understand how earnings affect your benefits. Disability benefits are meant to support those who cannot engage in substantial work due to medical conditions. Earnings above certain levels can trigger reviews or benefit changes. Being cautious and informed about these limits can help you avoid unexpected interruptions to your income later in the year. SSI recipients face unique challenges because their benefits are closely tied to income and resources. January often brings adjustments that reflect changes reported in the previous year. If you received help from family, moved to a different living arrangement, or experienced changes in income, your SSI amount may change. These changes are not punishments. They are part of how the program is structured. Understanding this can help you respond calmly and appropriately if your payment changes. Another important topic many beneficiaries worry about is overpayments. Overpayments happen when Social Security pays more than you were entitled to receive, often due to unreported income or changes in circumstances. January is a time when overpayments may be identified, especially after year-end reviews. If you receive a notice about an overpayment, it is important not to panic. These situations can often be resolved through explanations, appeals, or repayment plans. Acting quickly and staying informed can make a big difference. Many seniors also ask whether January 2026 brings any new penalties or reductions. For most beneficiaries, the answer is no. Social Security benefits are not reduced simply because of age or the passage of time. However, certain actions such as earning above limits or failing to report changes can affect payments. Understanding the rules and staying compliant is the best way to protect your benefits. Healthcare remains one of the most sensitive areas tied to Social Security income. Medical costs often rise faster than general inflation, and January is when many of those increases take effect. Prescription drug prices, supplemental insurance premiums, and out-of-pocket costs can all change. For seniors and people with disabilities, this makes it especially important to track medical spending and look for ways to manage costs throughout the year. While Social Security increases help, careful planning remains essential. Another issue that often comes up in January is taxes. While many Social Security beneficiaries do not owe federal income taxes on their benefits, some do, especially if they have other income. January is a good time to think ahead and understand whether a portion of your benefits may be taxable. Planning early can help avoid surprises later in the year and allow you to set aside funds if necessary. It is also important to address the emotional side of financial updates. Many older adults and disabled individuals feel anxious when they hear constant news about changes, cuts, or reforms. January 2026 does not bring sweeping reductions or sudden losses for most beneficiaries. The system continues to function as designed, with annual adjustments and ongoing payments. Staying focused on verified information rather than rumors can bring peace of mind and help you make better decisions. For those who receive survivor benefits or are approaching retirement age, January can also be a time of reflection and planning. Understanding how benefits change over time and how decisions affect long-term income is important. Even if you are not making immediate changes, being informed helps you feel more in control of your financial future. Throughout 2026, communication with Social Security remains important. Keeping your contact information up to date ensures you receive notices and updates on time. Ignoring mail or messages can lead to missed deadlines or misunderstandings. Staying organized and responsive helps protect your benefits and reduces stress. As we come to the end of this update, it is worth emphasizing that January 2026 is not just about numbers on a statement. It is about stability, dignity, and confidence for millions of Americans who depend on these programs. Social Security, SSI, and disability benefits exist to provide support during retirement, illness, or disability, and understanding how they work empowers you to make the most of them. In this two-part update, we have covered what changes take effect in January 2026, how benefit increases work, how healthcare and deductions affect net payments, and what steps beneficiaries can take to avoid common problems. We have talked about the reality of stimulus discussions, the importance of budgeting, and the need to stay informed without giving in to fear or misinformation. The most important takeaway is this: knowledge is protection. When you understand your benefits, review your payments, and stay aware of the rules, you reduce the risk of surprises and strengthen your financial security. January is the starting point for the year, and starting informed puts you in a stronger position for the months ahead. As 2026 continues, staying calm, organized, and informed will help you navigate any changes with confidence. Your benefits matter, your planning matters, and understanding these updates helps ensure that the support you rely on continues to work for you when you need it most. As we wrap up today's update, take a moment to remember why this information truly matters. Social Security, SSI, and disability benefits are not just government programs. For millions of retirees, seniors, and disabled Americans, they are the foundation of everyday life. Understanding what changes in January 2026, how your payments are calculated, and what can affect your monthly income gives you something extremely valuable: control and peace of mind. The more you know about your benefits, the better prepared you are to handle rising costs, avoid mistakes, and make smart decisions throughout the year. When you review your payments carefully, stay aware of the rules, and keep your information up to date, you protect the income you worked so hard to earn. That knowledge helps you plan your budget, manage healthcare costs, and face the months ahead with greater confidence instead of uncertainty. As this new year moves forward, remember that staying informed is one of the strongest tools you have. Changes can feel overwhelming when you hear them in fragments, but when you understand the full picture, those changes become manageable. January is only the beginning, and starting the year with clear, accurate information puts you in a stronger position for everything that comes next. Thank you for taking the time to stay informed and take care of your financial future. What you've learned today can help you avoid surprises, protect your benefits, and move through 2026 with clarity and confidence.